What's going on, everybody? My name is Zach Hartley and welcome back to another weekly watch list video. Let's jump right in. We've got a lot to cover. First off, the NASDAQ is not looking very good. We got rejected at this resistance level and now we are really testing support after 3 really bad red days to close out last week. When we look at the S&P 500, we saw the same 3 strong bad red days, and again we are testing previous lows, basically sitting on support right now, and if we break through this, that will be a lower low and a strong indication of a new bearish trend. When we look at the Dow Jones, very similar pattern over the last 3 days. Not quite at that lower low right now, but definitely probably going to test it this week. I also wanted to bring in a new chart this week, and that's the volatility index, also known as the VIX. This is basically a chart that shows how much volatility and uncertainty and worry and doubt is in the market, and as you can see over the last little while, it has definitely been rising. The other thing that's been rising recently is Bitcoin. We just crossed over $30,000 US, and the price has had quite a rally. About a week ago, we had a fake report that the Bitcoin spot ETF was coming out. It turned out to be false, but it does look like we're getting closer and closer to that point, and I think that anticipation has really been what's driving up the price. We're also seeing a bit of a rebound in the price of West Texas Intermediate crude. This is sort of the benchmark price for oil, and it has been rising over the last 2 weeks, but lithium prices still not rising, basically hovering at that previous low. I am watching this one closely, and I will be the first to update you when I buy in. Now, when it comes to this week, we've got a lot of earnings. We got Coca-Cola, Microsoft, we got Alphabet, we got Snap, we got Meta, we got Amazon, we got Exxon, we got a lot of big players that are reporting earnings this week. So it's going to be very, very exciting. So far, earnings have been mixed. It's been a mixed bag of different results. Tesla missed on earnings. A lot of the banks did very well. So it's been kind of a mixed bag so far. When it comes to market conditions, though, we have got some concerns in the market, both from that technical side that I pointed out to you on the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, and the Dow Jones, but also on the fundamental side. Canadian inflation is coming in at 3.8%. U.S. inflation hovered steady for 2 months in a row. So the fight to bring down inflation is not going as smoothly as the Federal Reserve and the Bank of Canada had probably expected or hoped for. The Bank of Canada is announcing their next interest rate on October 25th, and the U.S. Fed is November 1st. So that is coming out this week and next week, which is going to be pretty interesting to see how the market reacts to that. As of right now, mortgage rates are climbing, but so are bond yields. I posted it on my TikTok earlier this week, a chart that showed bond yields going up and the cap rate on commercial real estate going down. And what that shows is that for certain situations, definitely not everything, but in certain situations, you can get a better return buying a bond than you can by going through the risk and the headache and the management of owning real estate in certain situations. And so very, very concerning, and it could put some pressure on prices coming up. But at the same time, we've got some defense companies that are doing pretty good. Now, one thing that I talked about a little bit recently, and it has gained some traction, and I think it's because there's just a unique opportunity right now, is high interest savings accounts and GICs. Now, usually this is not something that I would talk about, and it's not something that I'm super interested in, but as of right now, you can get a guaranteed 5 to 6% return on your money, pretty much completely risk-free, and it's insured, which is almost unheard of. We haven't had these kind of returns for a very long time. Just right now, I signed up for a high interest savings account with Tangerine that's paying me 6% for 5 months, and I'm just going to chase around promotional rates after that. But you can also get a 1.5-year GIC that's going to pay you 5.75%, and you can hold it in your tax-free savings account so you don't have to pay any taxes on the money that it pays you. So there are a lot of opportunities right now to get some really, really nice basically 5-6% risk-free income right now, which in a market that if you think is going to go down in the future and you don't want to be buying stocks, this could be a great alternative. Now, a couple of stocks that I do want to point out to you. This one is actually going to be a shorting opportunity. This is ABNB, and there's a couple of things that go through my mind here. Number one, interest rates are getting higher, inflation is still high, people have less money to spend on things like travel and things like trips and all of these basically luxuries. And so I think that's going to put some pressure on Airbnb. Secondly, we have a huge wave of restrictions that are hitting Airbnb coasts here in Canada and the United States, and even in Europe. Several cities around the world are basically putting massive limitations and almost even restrictions in some areas as to operating an Airbnb as a host. And what that is going to do is it is going to reduce the number of hosts, it's going to reduce the number of listings, that's going to reduce the revenue, and it's going to reduce the profit for Airbnb, and that is going to bring the price down. And as you can see, we just fell down below our support level right here. So we have a technical breakdown. We have a couple of catalysts that are starting to hit the market right now, and I personally think a short on Airbnb could be a great opportunity right now, maybe from this 120 down to 80 level. I think there's a lot of room, and I think Airbnb stock going up in this environment is probably not very likely, but we'll have to see how things go. Also, Bitcoin, like I showed you the chart, it is skyrocketing. It is now above $30,000 US. I like Marathon Digital as my kind of hold and my publicly traded company play for Bitcoin. I did a lot of coverage of Hut 8, but they're starting to diversify their business model a little bit, and I am looking for a pure play miner, and Marathon Digital is very attractive to me because they are mining for Bitcoin, they are holding their Bitcoin, and they're currently the second largest publicly traded Bitcoin holder. And so I like it because they give you exposure to Bitcoin and they give you that upside from being a miner. And so I think there's big potential here if we see the price of Bitcoin continue to climb. That's going to be the catalyst here. Next one here is Mercado Libre. I had a couple of people ask me about support and resistance levels lately, and this one just stuck out like a sore thumb. As you can see, Mercado Libre going from $600 to over $1,000 here, just bouncing off support several times, and now we are testing support again. And the play here is that if support breaks down, you go short on the stock. If we bounce off of support, that's an opportunity to buy the stock and go long. That's the technical analysis here, and this lined up perfectly. It's a very clear level of support. We've got good traction here. We've got some volume. We'll have a signal from the MACD next week. So this one is interesting. It's on my radar, and it was just a clear technical opportunity where the pattern is very simple and very clear. Another one that's sort of like that is Drone Delivery Canada. We have some major support right around 21 to 23 cents right here. And just recently we dipped down, so I picked up a couple of shares. I'm in at 25 cents. Stock is currently trading at 26 cents. The company has put out a couple of nice press releases lately. I do have a tight stop loss on this trade though, so if it drops down below 21 cents, I'm out. No problem. I'll take my loss. I'll buy back in later. I do like the stock though. I like the company. I have faith in them long term, but as of right now, this one's a high risk trade. Let's just say it that way. If you want to see when I get in and out of these stocks though, I do post all of that in my Discord chat. The link is in the description down below, so you can actually see all my analysis, my research, and my trades on a daily basis. And if you want to learn about this and how to do this, definitely check out my courses on the stock market, on Skillshare. Everything is free. I got courses on day trading, dividends, investing long term, and just how the stock market works. So definitely check it out. You get 1 month free with that subscription, and you can try out every single course on the platform, not even just mine, but you can basically wander around, and it's like Netflix, but for courses. And it's some of the most professional teachers that you'll find. So I highly recommend it. Links are down below. Thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Good luck trading. Good luck investing, and we'll talk to you soon.